Hi guys. So this is Emily, and yeah, I'm just gonna be vlogging a little bit, maybe a little bit lot. Maybe I'll try to keep it as minimal as possible. But I just wanted to talk about a lot of things that have been brought up to my attention recently, and it's just just letting you know, this has nothing really to do with BTS. It's more of just, I mean, BTS is a part of it just because BTS is a part of my life, but it's not like this is a vlog for me, like a vlog for myself. And so if you can relate, then awesome. If not, then don't even watch the rest of this video. um, but yeah, as a 22-year-old, living at home, graduated college, living at home with my parents, I like there were a lot of things, like there's a lot of things that are going through my mind, and I just wanted to touch base on like where I am in my life. And I honestly feel like I don't know. And I think that's okay. And I feel like that's okay because everyone kind of feels like that, especially the year after they graduate college. It's just the whole, what am I going to do? I went to school for like 12, 13 years, 14, like more than that, like 15 years, I went to school all of these years, and now I'm supposed to work. Like, I don't know how to do that, or like to fully indulge yourself in work rather than homework, or BSing your way, whatever you want to say. But my point is that besides that school and vocational aspect of it, a lot of things have been brought up to my attention. Like, when I was in Korea, I reflected a lot. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys. If you don't follow me on Twitter and you only watch my YouTube videos, then I went to South Korea in November, and yeah, I was there for 2.5 weeks, and I did a lot of reflection there. I tried to reflect in an atmosphere and an environment that was unfamiliar to me, to see if I could survive there, and to see if I could really find out who I was away from my parents, from my family, away from America, speaking English, like a lot of that. And so I was there and I did a lot of reflection, and it was really good. And so when I came back, I actually did another reflection, and I fasted for almost 48 hours. But I was thinking about who I was and who I could be, and I actually feel like I took like 3 steps back, because when I was in Korea, it was like like when I was in Korea, I had such a good time, and then but I was also like in this like really intense like reflective state, because that was my purpose. And so when I went there, I just had a whole bunch of fun. I figured out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And then now that I'm here back in the US, it's like it's the process of how I'm going to get there, And my point is, in the past few days, especially in that 48-hour reflection that I had a few weeks ago, I felt like I tried to what I tried to do was think about who I was as a person, like who I've been since I've grown up. And then I tried to accept it. I tried to accept, like, hey, like, you don't have a bad childhood, you don't have a bad life. I tried to convince myself of that, at least. And then I actually, in that 48 hours, I connected to my spiritual self a lot. I prayed a lot. But then I ended up sulking. And I think it wasn't, I'm not sure if it was really sulking, but I think it was more of like the emotions and the feelings that I had felt about my childhood, like, were never, like, I never, what is a word? You know what I mean? Like I never, had closure about it, because a lot of things did happen. And so, yeah. Anyways, this is 5 minutes long, but I'll try and sum it up as much as I could. So let me just give you a brief history. I grew up in Northern California all my life, and yeah, my parents got married at a young age, had me at a very young age, and then they divorced. I'm not in contact with my biological dad. I live with my mom. She remarried. I have a stepdad. Now I have a half sibling as well. But I was an only child for 14 years. And then now I'm 22. And then now I have an 8-year-old sister. So that's, like, I mean, like, that's all crazy and stuff, you know. But, like, it kind of sounds normal, actually, a little bit in the US. That's kind of like, I feel like, you know, divorce has become so normal that a lot of people are experiencing now, or actually are in the same boat as that, as I am. But I was, you know, thinking about it, and I started feeling like, I started sulking in that idea of like, oh wow, like I actually don't belong anywhere. And that is the point of this vlog. So that's what I've been thinking about a lot, because then I literally broke down my life into the different little pieces that is what I think I am. And so let's start from the very beginning. My mom and my biological dad. And I felt like I was conceived like unexpectedly, you know? And so it was like, okay, and it's fine, like, not every pregnancy is expected, but for me, it was, my parents were really young, you know, and so for them, it was, I just feel like I was, you know, I was an unwanted child, basically, but then, yeah, so that's where that goes, and I feel like, oh, like, I don't belong there, and then now, my mom is remarried, and, like, I have all of these, like, step cousins, step grandma, and stuff. But it also feels like I don't belong there. Like, because that idea, maybe it's just me, but that idea of a step is always in there. And so, for me, like, I felt like, okay, I don't belong there. So then I look back and I'm like, okay, so my mom's side of the family. And I'm like, looking at all of them, and they have a relationship, like, it's mutual grounds, but it's not, like, close. Like, they're not close at all. But they do keep in contact, just, you know, for the sake of being siblings, you know. But for me, it like, there's no closeness, there's no relationship really that exists, except for the fact that we're blood, you know. And so for me, I'm like, it's not very inviting, and it doesn't feel like I belong there. So then here I have my biological dad's side. I've never grown up with him. Like, first 5 years of my life was with him. Maybe 4 years of my life. And then after that, it was like, I'm 22 now, and I don't have a relationship with them. And then my stepdad's side, it's like step. And then my mom's side, they're not really close. And so then I'm like, I don't belong there, or here, or there. In my head, that's how I feel. And then I'm thinking, alright, so my immediate family. And I've always heard people say this, but I never thought of it like this, where, oh yeah, like, you, like, when you are the product of a divorced couple or marriage, then, like, you are the other child. That's basically it, because here's mom, and then here's me, and then here's dad, right, new dad, and married, and then they have a new kid, and it's like, you're, like, I'm always this, like, this is their kid, you know, and I'm always this other kid that's always just there, because I was the other kid, literally, you know. And so something that I think that's been on my heart is this idea of not belonging anywhere, and then I'm trying to figure out, so where do I belong to? And I think that in this life, everyone kind of just looks for acceptance somehow, but we don't know where to find it, or, like, we try our best to find it, and sometimes we're just let down a lot. And so for me, I just kind of feel like it's not here, or even in my immediate family. And then I endows myself into BTS, and I'm like, okay, so where am I? In there, right? And then I'm thinking, I feel like I don't belong anywhere, actually, because I'm a fan, yes, but as a fan, we do have selfish intentions, you know. I know I do, and so I'm thinking, like, I'm not just a fan, I'm an international fan. Like, if I was a fan in Korea, it'd be like, okay, like, the relationship is a lot closer, it makes more sense, like, it's just culturally understanding because I'm there at the time, at the place, right? But I'm not, and I'm an international fan, and that, like, you know, if you're an international fan, then you know that struggle of there's always like this little barrier, like an invisible barrier that's always there, and I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but then it makes me personally, as Emily, feel like, oh, I don't belong there as well, or like I will, but I will always be like on the other side of the gate, like I will always be that other, and so for me, like, I think, like, right now I'm trying to figure out, like, so what am I? What am I doing here? Like, on Earth. Like, literally, like, on Earth. Like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? And I don't know. Literally, I'm 22 now, you know, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, do I just, you know, like, do the regular what people expect of me, or do I break the stereotype, you know, or what is it, you know? I think I'm still in the process of accepting that, hey, because I'm not a part of these things, like, I am, but I'm not. The fact that I am, but I'm not a part of these things is okay. Like, I need to accept that, hey, that's okay. That is who you are, and it's okay to not belong to something, because sometimes belonging to something actually just binds you, you know, and I need to be okay with that. But for me, like, I think for me personally, it's just this, like it's just this idea of, oh, like, not even one thing, like, not even my immediate family, or not even in the fandom, you know. But then the more that I think about it, it's like even if I was to get that, I would not be satisfied. I would probably still be complaining about a different issue, you know. And so then, you know, I guess I'm just going back around in circles, going around in circles of, like, so what do I do, you know, and where do I belong? And I think it's coming back to, I need to be confident in who I am, and I need to not sulk. But like I told you guys, I think a lot of the things in my past has not been, what's that word? Why do I keep forgetting it? A lot of the things in my past hasn't found closure yet. And so then when I'm trying to make it like this significant or a bigger change into my life, like, I can't, because the past for some reason is like still unlocked or something, you know, like there still needs to be an emotional closure to it. But I don't know, like, I'm a really stubborn person too. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, I don't know, unless I fight that pride inside my soul. But anyways, that's basically this is just a rant vlog, but I just wanted to put that out there, because these are things that run in the back of my head, that has run in the back of my head for like years and years and years, and I always just suppressed it, didn't really think much about it, and it was like, oh, that's totally cool, it's fine, you know. And so now that I'm 22, trying to figure out like a career, not a job, a career for myself, and a life for myself, like however that looks like I feel like I need to come to terms with those things in order to like move on. And I haven't come to terms with those things yet. And so then when I'm looking back, I have to actually hit it head on. Like, I really have to think about it now, you know? And now I'm in this area in my life where I'm like, so what do I do? You know, like, honestly, what do I do? And honestly, like, I covet so much, you know, especially when it comes to like families that get along really well, or when it comes to especially like K-armies who like get to spend so much time with BTS, because I'm so into that right now. Like those things, like I do cover that a lot. Or like even just like literally when a lot of my friends went to South Korea and I couldn't, like just this past weekend, like I was gonna go but I couldn't, and I coveted so much, like I cried so much and I drank until I was like blacked out, you know, like literally. And I had to, in order to just, for me, that was my way of like dwelling with it, you know, and like dealing with it. So it was like, so, you know, like what am I doing? And I'm like coveting so much with like, man, I wish I was there. I wish I was there. And I'm like fighting what I want with like what I need to do, maybe, or who I want, um, with who I actually am, you know, and who I want to be is, you know, just a person that lives life, and I want to live my life as an example for other people to be like, that is legendary, that's dope, like your life is inspiring and motivational, like I want to live my life like that. But in reality, I'm here and I'm not feeling that way. And I don't know how other people view me at all. I mean, I have my Twitter account, Rapmonsbay, and like honestly, like I never expected to reach that many followers, but it's reached to that point. And my point, and like I'm thinking like why do people follow me? And because like for me it's all about motive and intention, and I want like people to be here to be my friend, you know. I don't and so that's, I guess that's my flaw, is like I expect too much out of people, you know. But then I realized like how much, you know, like they're gonna, whatever their reasoning is, that's them. But what is my reasoning when I get these new followers and these new people? Like I need to catch myself and to not like form relationships so fast, because in the end I do get hurt a lot, you know. And so I guess that's my way of saying like in a way, like it's like I don't belong there as well, because people only want something from me. They don't want to know me, they want to know something that I have, or you know, I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying like they just want something, and I'm just kind of like, okay. Like, and for me, I don't go into relationships, like friendships and relationships, with that intention or with that in mind, but then in the end like it always ends up being like that, you know. And so I don't know, like as of right now I'm like going through loops, and I'm going through this time in my life where I'm trying to figure out who I am, but in the deepest like darkest pit of my soul, like what I think about on a daily is just that sense of not belonging. and and because I don't belong, it's like a really bad discomfort. But at the same time, like why be comfortable, right? Because then you're just gonna sit and get fat and gain weight and become unhealthy and sulk and not do anything, right? And when you become comfortable in that, like you don't want to move, you don't want to make change happen. And yeah, I think, I don't know, see, that's what I'm saying. I have this like sulking sad side to it, but I have this like, but why, like you need to change, you need to move, right? And so, but between those two, like I'm in this middle area of like, so what do, you know? And even though I think about the positives and the moving on part, like physically and emotionally and spiritually and mentally, like my body's still stuck in this side of the sulking part. So I need to figure out like, how do I like overcome that? And sorry, this is about 19 minutes. I said I was gonna wrap it up. But if you actually like stayed and watched this whole thing, I just, you know, wanted to talk about this because it's something that's on my mind, and it's just like life advice. Like honestly, like if you guys have life advice or anything, like just comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. Like if you're feeling the same, let me know. If you're not and you're like, I don't understand you, let me know. And if you're like, I've been through that, then tell me like what comes next, you know, and like what do I need to do, because I am looking for direction and I don't know if I can find it myself. But I'm willing to like break down my pride and ask for help, because honestly I'm just here like venting through a video. And I've talked to a few friends too, but for them, like they don't understand. Like the people that I've talked to are just like, oh, okay, you know. And I'm like, like that sucks so much, because I wish you understood. Like I wish you didn't just have empathy for me, but to like, or to not have sympathy for me, but to like literally empathize with me and be like, yes, I know exactly how you're feeling, and yes, this is how I can help you out, and I don't know what else to offer you, but this is the direction that you could possibly go. Like nothing of that sort. And so I'm thinking, like, what do I do? Honestly, like, that's just the question that I've been asking myself. But anyways, yeah. Oh, look at my face. I'm breaking out. Just right there in that one spot, like, really bad. But anyways, this is 20 minutes, so I'll stop talking. And if you watched all of this video, thanks. If not, whatever. This is honestly, like, for me to see in the future. I know, like, in 5 or 10 years from now, I'm gonna rewatch my videos and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And so, we'll make it. We'll get it.